You know how we always say, expect the unexpected in crypto? Well, buckle up everyone, because what just happened is absolutely mind-blowing. And honestly, I didn't see this one coming. So here's the bombshell that's breaking the internet right now. President Trump just pardoned Binance founder CZ. And guys, I'm not even going to sugarcoat this. This whole situation has me completely stunned. Let me break this down for you. CZ, the guy who built Binance into a crypto empire, he actually pleaded guilty to criminal money laundering charges. He was literally sentenced to prison for this. But here's where it gets interesting. Apparently, CZ helped finance Trump's new stablecoin project, and then lobbied hard for a presidential pardon. And guess what? Today, he got exactly what he asked for. Now, if Congress doesn't step in and address this kind of corruption, they're basically saying they're okay with it. And that's terrifying. Here's what's really crazy though. Remember that massive liquidation event we saw a couple weeks ago? Yeah, that was all because of Binance. And Trump? He doesn't seem to care one bit about the chaos that caused. Okay, I'm about to say something that might shock you guys. You remember Gary Gensler from the SEC? I know, we all complained about him constantly. But honestly, I actually miss the guy. Think about it. When Gary was running the show, we didn't have this kind of Wild West chaos happening every other week. It was only after he got kicked out that everything became this chaotic mess we're dealing with now. I hate to admit it, but looking back, Gary might have actually been the good guy trying to keep things under control. Crazy how hindsight works, right? And let me tell you, crypto Twitter is absolutely losing its mind right now. People are furious about this pardon, and rightfully so. CZ admitted to sanctions violations. He knowingly let questionable groups use Binance for their operations. But then he partners with Trump's World Liberty Financial on their new stablecoin, and suddenly he gets a presidential pardon? Come on, that's not even trying to hide what's happening here. This is probably the clearest example we've ever seen of pay-to-play politics, and people are demanding answers. But let me tell you what's really going on behind the scenes, because I've been watching this unfold for years now. We predicted this exact scenario, that insider trading and corruption would become so blatant, so obvious, that it would be happening right in front of our faces. And you know what? It's still going to keep happening until we, the people, demand change. This is the classic problem-reaction-solution playbook in action. The problem: insider trading and corruption happening in broad daylight. The reaction: people getting angry and demanding fairness. The solution: new laws and regulations that give them even more control. Do you see the pattern here? They create the chaos, we react to it, and then they swoop in with their solution that usually benefits them even more. Let me walk you through exactly how this all went down, because the timeline is absolutely wild. November 2023, Binance and CZ plead guilty, paying over $4 billion in fines. March 2025, Trump's World Liberty Financial launches their $1 stablecoin. March 2025, they invest $2 billion into Binance. May 2025, that $2 billion investment gets paid for using their own stablecoin. May 2025, CZ applies for a presidential pardon. October 2025, CZ gets his pardon, and now USD1 is backed by treasuries. Here's where it gets really interesting from a money perspective. This whole setup is generating between $60 to $80 million per year for World Liberty Financial, as long as Binance doesn't cash out that $2 billion in $1. So basically, they've created this perfect little money-making machine where everyone involved gets rich, and the regular crypto investors, we're just along for the ride.
So what does all this mean for us? Well, it's pretty clear that we're entering a new phase where the lines between politics and crypto are getting more blurred than ever. The question is, are we going to sit back and let this kind of obvious corruption continue, or are we going to demand better from our leaders and our industry? Because at the end of the day, this affects all of us who believe in what crypto was supposed to represent: decentralization, fairness, and freedom from exactly this kind of political manipulation. Now, here's where things get even more interesting. Trump actually released a statement about this whole situation, and honestly, it's pretty telling.
The founder of Binance. Can you explain why you chose to pardon him, and did it have anything to do with his involvement in your
Which one?
family's?
Who is that?
The founder of Binance. He has an involvement in your own
The
family's
recent
crypto
one, yes.
business.
I believe we're talking about the same person because I do pardon a lot of people. I don't know. He was recommended by a lot of people. A lot of people say that. Are you talking about the crypto person? A lot of people say that he wasn't guilty of anything. He served 4 months in jail, and they say that he was not guilty of anything. That
You know what? At this point, I'm ready to say it. Gary Gensler, please come back. I can't believe I'm saying this, but we actually need Gary back in charge. Look, we were literally the first people to call it. We said Gary was actually the good guy, trying to protect us, and everyone thought we were crazy. But now people are finally starting to wake up and realize what's really happening here. As soon as Gary got kicked out, this new Wild West came to town. And let me tell you, it's not the same game anymore. Sometimes having protection against manipulation and market abuse is actually a good thing, even if it feels restrictive.
what he did, well, you don't know much about crypto. You know nothing about nothing. You're fake news. But let me just tell you that he was somebody that, as I was told, I don't know him. I don't believe I've ever met him. But
Here's what's really fascinating, though. I don't think Trump actually understands what Binance is, or how any of this crypto stuff really works. But his family? His sons? Oh, they definitely know what they're doing. They're the ones behind World Liberty Financial, after all.
I've been told by a lot of support. He had a lot of support. And they said that what he did is not even a crime. It wasn't a crime, that he was persecuted by the Biden administration. And so I gave him a pardon at the request of a lot of very good people.
You know what's crazy? After 7 years of being deep in this crypto space, I've come to a pretty depressing realization. The most important skill to be profitable in crypto isn't technical analysis. It's not understanding blockchain technology. It's insider trading and having the right connections. Let me paint you a picture of how this probably went down. Person 1. Hey, I want that pardon. What's it gonna take? Person 2. Okay, what can you do for me? Trump, me and my sons are gonna max short every altcoin with maximum leverage, crash the market, and liquidate everyone. CZ. I was gonna do this anyway. You'll pardon me if I help make this happen? Trump. Yep, I'll pardon you like a week later. CZ. Say less. Prepare for the nuke. And that, my friends, is basically the timeline of how this whole thing went down. So it seems like the way CZ got his pardon was by orchestrating one of the biggest liquidation events in crypto history, making billions of dollars while regular people lost everything. That massive liquidation event we saw, that wasn't just bad luck or market volatility. That was engineered to happen, and Trump's family made massive profits from it. Then they probably suggested to Trump that he should pardon CZ. Because, hey, Binance made this whole money-making scheme possible. Let me show you the data that proves this was all coordinated. There was a liquidity vacuum, and I'm talking about a $19 billion collapse in liquidity. According to Credible Crypto's analysis, this wasn't natural market movement. In my last video, I actually mentioned that the biggest liquidation events in crypto history could be the result of market makers intentionally pulling liquidity from the order books. Well, guess what? The data is now here, and it absolutely confirms this was a coordinated market manipulation effort. Market makers deliberately withdrew liquidity from the books, and that was the root cause of the mass liquidations we witnessed. This wasn't some accident. This was manufactured. Here's how they engineered the perfect storm. Step 1. Trump announces tariffs, the trigger. Step 2. This triggers initial selling pressure. Step 3. Market makers withdraw liquidity, sensing the cascade potential. Step 4.
Liquidations can't clear through empty order books. Step 5. Insurance funds rapidly deplete, trying to absorb bad debt. Step 6. Auto-deleveraging kicks in, forcibly closing profitable positions. Step 7. Leverage traders are forced to re-hedge, adding more selling pressure. Step 8. More liquidations trigger, and the cycle repeats. This feedback loop of destruction wasn't about excessive leverage or regulatory failures. This was about deliberately removing the safety net, the liquidity that keeps markets functioning normally. They literally manufactured a situation where these coins had no liquidity support. When there's no liquidity in the market, even small selling pressure can cause massive price crashes. And that's exactly what happened. So while regular traders were getting liquidated left and right, losing their life savings, the people who orchestrated this whole thing were making billions on the other side of those trades. This whole situation really comes down to misaligned incentives in our market structure. Let me show you exactly how this liquidity manipulation works. Look at how much each market maker was providing to the order books, and then watch as that liquidity gets systematically pulled. When there's no liquidity, prices don't just drop, they collapse completely. Think about it this way. Imagine if Satoshi Nakamoto suddenly decided to sell his entire Bitcoin stack in one massive trade. We're talking about selling 1 million Bitcoins all at once. Without proper liquidity and buyers to absorb that volume, it would tank Bitcoin's price to basically nothing. That's exactly what happened to these altcoins, except it was completely engineered to happen this way. Now, here's where it gets really interesting. Binance actually announced they're going to distribute $300 million to users who got liquidated during that October 10th market crash.
But think about this. They're giving back $300 million when billions were made from this manipulation. That's like stealing someone's car and then offering to pay for their bus fare home. The fact that they're even offering compensation proves they know they're in the wrong here. But are the Trumps going to do anything about it? Of course not, because they're all in this together. And right on cue, the damage control starts. Binance releases a statement saying they're deeply grateful for today's pardon and to President Trump for upholding America's commitment to fairness, innovation, and justice. CZ chimes in too. We'll do everything we can to help America become the capital of crypto and advance Web3 worldwide. Onwards. Oh, and supposedly, CZ is now going to donate $180 million to help the Trump administration boost Bitcoin and crypto adoption across the US. Well, of course he's going to do that. The guy just got pardoned for criminal charges. Throwing some money at the administration that saved him is probably the least he can do, right? You know what's really crazy to me about all this? It's literally the government orchestrating this manipulation, not some shadowy group of bad actors, but our own government. The government is supposed to be leading for the people, protecting us from this kind of abuse. Instead, they're the ones running the scheme. We're living in a completely upside-down world where the people who are supposed to protect us are the ones taking advantage of us. This is exactly why I think we desperately need Gary Gensler back in the picture. Right now, things are getting absolutely chaotic, and there's nobody keeping these powerful players in check. Say what you want about Gary's approach, but at least when he was around, we didn't have this level of blatant market manipulation happening with government backing. I guess this is just going to keep happening, and there will be no real justice for us regular people in the end. We're just the exit liquidity for these massive insider trading schemes.
The game is rigged, and they're not even trying to hide it anymore. They're doing it right in front of our faces, because they know they can get away with it. So, what do you think about all this? Are you as shocked as I am that our own government is behind this level of market manipulation? This isn't just about crypto anymore. This is about whether we're going to allow this kind of corruption to become the new normal. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe if you want to stay updated on these revelations. Because, unfortunately, if this is any indication of what's coming, we're in for a lot more coordinated manipulation ahead. The question is, what are we going to do about it? Are we just going to accept that this is how things work now? Or are we going to demand better? All right, guys, this has been absolutely wild to cover. I'll see you in the next one. And hopefully by then, we'll have some better news to talk about. Peace out.